Oh, I was to try in my car, Oh, making my way downtown, walking past Davis House, and I'm homebound. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. I live drumming my eyes on the road. I love looking at the world so well. It's dark outside, but that's okay, 'cause my headlights have their brights on. I'm never gonna get in a car crash, 'cause I'm such a good driver.
Hey, I'm Owen.
Oh, hiya. Nice to meet you. My name's Claire.
So, quite some weather we're having, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, have a good day.
You too. I've got my pocket full of posies. What little good they will do me. For all the host of turning, when the pestilence began. Oh dear.
You're so fucking special. But in order to reach the impossibility of transferring from one mind to another the memory imprint of Creep by Radiohead, we must first begin with a background in Hegelian dialectics. I actually considered reading Hegel solely because I met a cute girl who was obsessed with Hegelian thought, but I never got around to it. So my review of the hit 1807 book, The Phenomenology of Spirit by the German philosopher Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, is that I think it's kind of fucked up that his name is Georg. Like, it's spelled like George, but without the E at the end. And furthermore, why is it pronounced Georg instead of George with two floppy G's instead of swollen G's like my frigid father Lord God intended? Nah, I can't even play that. Anyway, I think Hegelian dialectics are best explained using a Hegelian dialectic. So let us begin our dialectic with a thesis. Our thesis is thus: the basic parts of the Hegelian dialectic are thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. Our thesis and antithesis are two ideas that we hold to be true but seem at their surface to be inherently contradictory. Then, the synthesis is a secret third idea that is created from a deeper understanding of what our thesis and antithesis taken together mean. And now, the antithesis of this dialectic is that, after consulting with several Hegelian scholars, I've been informed that actually, that's not what Hegelian dialectics are at all. Hegel didn't say any of that. That's just like the pop philosophy interpretation that gets spread around, but that's not really what Hegelian dialectic is. And a synthesis of those two ideas is that if we pretend that that's what a Hegelian dialectic is, then we don't need to read Hegel, and that sounds like the real win, not gonna lie. Anyway, now that we've gone through our basics, we can move on to Marxist dialectics. See, Karl Marx was basically like, Hegel was based and all, but Hegel used dialectics to synthesize ideas, and ideas aren't real. Real men use dialectics to understand how material conditions and class struggle synthesize and shape the world around us. The idea can be exemplified if we return to our material conditions. It might seem at first that because you're so very special, and I wish I was special, but I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo, that this relation it has a clear arborescent hierarchy that flows in only one direction, but in fact, every relationship allows two objects to shape and form each other, just not in an equal way. So yes, you are so very special, but you having attained the means and power over the structures of creation only creates alienation, because most of the people around you who do not have access to that means are creeps. And ironically, that makes you the weirdo among them. This is why millionaires are so fucking hollow. But the perception remains. We still desire to be so fucking special when it will never fill that hole inside of us. And this illusion, this signifier is key, because here's the thing. I know what Creep by Radiohead is. That is, in my mind there is a memory imprint of Creep, but that memory imprint doesn't signify anything real because I've never actually listened to a single Radiohead song, including Creep. That might sound odd, but what you need to understand is that when you were listening to Radiohead, I was radioing some bitches to get some head, and unfortunately that made the process of listening to a Radiohead song nearly impossible. Instead, I just have the vague cultural concept associated with their music. And if I'm to be honest with you, Tom York might as well not exist for all it affects me. And if I'm to be honest with you, I don't think the American dream was ever real to begin with.
In Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident: that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, It is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such forms as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. He has kept among us, 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 among us.